Specialisation and Diversification. Leglise 1997, as cited in Vanhout 2010, state that specialisation in sport occurs when athletes limit their participation to a single sport, which is trained for and competed in on a year-round basis. Numerous studies assessing and reflecting on early specialisation has shown that it can have negative consequences on the development of a young athlete and can prevent their entry into elite sport. Other studies have also shown that there seems to be no distinct developments in young elite athletes compared to that of their counterparts receiving the same training, and that these developments only occur at a later stage. Although early specialisation of young elite athletes can differ depending on the sport and activity. For example, activities such as gymnastics and figure skating, sport-specific training for distinguishable, high-performing young athletes begins as early as 7 years old. As is the same with football in England. However, activities such as wrestling, field hockey, and triathlon athletes only see specialisation at a later stage, ranging between 13 to 20 years old, depending on an individual's maturation. Additionally, there have been findings showing that early specialisation interferes with a child's healthy and natural development. Ericsson, 1993, has said that to reach excellence, a minimum of 10,000 hours of deliberate practice must be undertaken. This increases the likelihood of potential burnout and injuries, some being long-term and some being detrimental to the child throughout their life. Some of these injuries, as identified by Côté and Micheli, 2011, can be both acute and chronic, and stem from young elite athletes being pushed beyond their limits through increased exposure to high-level training requirements compared to their low level of preparedness for the specific training being undertaken. In addition to this, early specialisation results in sport-specific training, which could mean that a child lacks the opportunity to develop their fundamental motor skills, which are required for the sport. For example, a child continuously training and competing in dance may not have the opportunity to learn how to throw or catch properly, preventing fundamental movement skill development. In turn, this means the child will not be able to participate in a wide range of alternative sports, such as rounders, cricket, handball, or softball. However, there are some benefits. Young elite athletes, through early specialisation, become trained in specific mannerisms, ways of acting, and ways of thinking that fit in with a specific sports or sports coach. This could promote the athlete's punctuality, cohesiveness, and knowledge, which is favoured by numerous coaches as it allows them to deliver a more effective training session and achieve specific goals and levels of success. The aforementioned traits are important as it can allow for increased contact time with specialist coaches, which can further enhance skill development to provide a platform to high and more elite levels of performance. Decky and Ryan 2000 quote that in order to become a highly motivated, self-determined and committed adult athlete, it is crucial to build a solid foundation of intrinsic motivation at early stages. Other sports, such as football, athletics and swimming, are also seeing the introduction of younger elite level athletes achieved through implementation of early specialisation. As well as early specialisation, there is also late specialisation, which occurs in team sports such as rugby, as there are better facilities and more experienced coaches. Carlson, 1988, found that elite tennis players specialising later and practiced less than their near elite peers, aging between 13 and 15, but intensified their training after the age of 15. This is supported by Lidar and Lavian, 2002, who found that elite athletes from different sports began specialising later than near elite athletes and still managed enough hours training to reach their peak performance, which indicates despite the late specialisation, if athletes train hard enough, they are still able to compete and challenge at the top level. Finally, Baranina and Wojtkowski, 1992, discovered that swimmers who specialised early spent less time in the national setup and ended their career earlier in comparison to those who specialised later. So that concludes specialisation. Now on to diversification. Diversification is the opposite to specialisation, as the athlete chooses to take part in an array of sports, not just one. Côté et al. 2009 states from a psychosocial point of view that engaging in a variety of different sports allows a young athlete to experience different physical environments which can promote intrinsic motivation within younger athletes. From a performance-wise experience, the athlete gets to try different sports which provides a young athlete with important abilities such as proving beneficial in the development of a sport-specific skill required to reach elite performance in later stage of their career. Williams and Ford 2008 quote, talented athletes may benefit from a transfer across sports. This is supported by Baker 2003, who states transfer of learning occurs from one sport to another, including both cognitive and physical abilities. For example, Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire's performances at the World Cup represented a broader class for English sport. In an interview with Telegraph, he explained that his football prowess is underpinned by qualities he has learned across a multitude of games. He credits cross-country for his stamina, rugby for his bravery, weaving in and out of plays helping with agility, and hockey for his vision on the pitch. Within diversification, there are two factors: deliberate play and deliberate practice. Deliberate play is intrinsically motivating, designed to maximise fun and enjoyment and provide immediate gratification, often requiring minimal equipment, and allows the participants to experiment with the rules and how they would like to play the game, which makes it more fun and enjoyable. Deliberate practice, on the other hand, as stated by Côté et al. 2009, is highly structured and requires a lot of effort, with no immediate reward, and is motivated by improving performance. Both deliberate practice and deliberate play have benefits in the making of an elite athlete. However, it is vital that the balance between the two are right, otherwise the athlete could get disheartened or even bored with their sport. To conclude this video, we now know that both specialisation and diversification play an important role in creating an elite athlete. We also now know the right environment which works best for each one and the correct sport in which it could be applied. Both have weaknesses and both have strengths. It is how everyone surrounding the athlete acts which will determine how well the athlete will do in their sport. Thank you for watching.